Chapter 5, verse 22 next. It says, to the unwise, sensory pleasures seem gratifying, but it is misery in disguise. So the wise ones avoid anything that is supposed to be pleasure. That's the wise ones, but normal people like us at least should control how much. One anecdote that comes to my mind is when we visited a family with a 10-year-old girl. I took a bag of Lindor chocolates. I bring up chocolate as an example all the time, but this happened. And when we went there, I handed the bag to the girl. She was very much pleased. This is a person growing up in a place where chocolates are not very common, especially this type of fancy ones. And so she was happy, and the family was happy to have us. We were all chatting away, and they suggested that we should go somewhere nearby to visit places and so on. And we were all happy to do that. But then we couldn't, because after a while the girl came back crying, having excruciating stomachache. Pretty soon she was throwing up. And parents were quite disappointed, at the same time quite concerned. I had a doubt. I thought what might have been the culprit. So I politely asked if she had eaten too many of the candies. She responded she just finished the whole bag. Of course, she enjoyed every bit of the candies. The pleasure must have been undeniable. So we as adults could see that pleasure ended up in misery, not only for her, for all of us. When we are children, it is the candy that we cannot control. It's pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Teenager, maybe risk-taking behavior. Get up on that motorbike and then go as fast as you can go. Or some other indulgences that are risky. Maybe as young adults, it is buying things. You're just starting to make money. You don't know what to do with it. This new money, I can buy this, I can buy that. Buy a lot of stuff. Pretty soon you have too many things. Maintenance is a huge issue. Examples. And in the Middle Ages, it's probably romance outside of the confines of morality. Some just use fantasy to handle that. Some act on it, especially because they are presented with unfortunate opportunities for it. And that leads to misery. As grown-ups, senior citizens, it is the pleasure we get in using our status to control younger generation. It's not imparting wisdom, but it is more of, there is pleasure in that too, but sometimes it morphs into control, and that's more pleasure, and that almost always leads to misery. So it's quite clear that just like some of the sad things that happen in our lives are blessings in disguise, these unwanted pleasures are misery in disguise. So at all cost, we must avoid them or control them. The verse says, wise people avoid them. Only unwise indulge in them. I'll leave it at that.